And hello, everybody who's watching. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to the second IFAF Women's World Championships in tackle football. I hope a lot of you have tuned in to www.WWC2013.com/WWCTV to watch this live broadcast. My name is Anna Banhedi. I play football in Budapest, Hungary, and I will be your commentator for this tournament. Now, we are getting ready for the coin toss for the game after we listened to the national anthems for both Spain and Finland. So this is the opening game of the tournament between the newcomer team, Spain, and the last tournament's bronze medalist, Finland. Finland will be the home team in this game. So getting ready for the coin toss, we have our honorary guests of the afternoon, Minister of Culture and Sport in Finland, Mr. Paavo Arhinmäki. The City of Vantaa Head of Sports Department, Mr. Veli-Matti Kalislahti, and IFAF President, Mr. Tommy Viking, as well as the Finnish Federation's President, Mr. Roope Noronen. So they will be assisting the teams for the coin toss. And now you can see the team captains walking to the middle of the field as customary for the coin toss. So Finland deferred and Spain elected to receive. So in a couple of minutes, we are going to have the first kickoff of the first game of the 2013 Women's World Championships. And Spain will send its kick receiving team on the field. Finland is getting ready to send its kickoff team. Now, in the meantime, let me introduce our referees, our officiating crew for the first game. Our head referee today is Annalie McPhillamy from the United States. The umpire is Katarina Milojkovic from Serbia. The linesman is Crystal Nichols from the US. Line judge is Joanna Tubiszewska from Poland. Field judge Silvia Sassatelli from Italy. Side judge Doris Costanzi from Austria, and the back judge is Lily Hill from the United States. As the last tournament, we once again have an international crew of female officials for the games, so they will be rotating as referees for all of the games. We will have an honorary kickoff, and that will be performed by the Minister of Culture and Sports for Finland, Mr. Paavo Arhinmäki, who you can see in the middle of the field surrounded by the Finnish kickoff team. And Mr. Arimäki kicked a beautiful kick to the middle of the field. And this begins our World Championships of 2013. There are 6 teams attending this World Tournament. The winner of the last tournament, the United States. The silver medalist, Canada. Bronze medalist, Finland. 4th place, Germany. 5th place, Sweden. And a newcomer, Spain, whom you can see on the field on the left-hand side in red. Obviously, Finland is wearing their national colors, blue and white. So Finland is getting ready for the kickoff. Number 33, Mia Heinikowski, kicked the ball off to the right-hand side, and Spain is returning the ball to the 35-yard line. So it's about 10 yards, I believe, for this kickoff return. So Spain has sent its starting offense on the field. The quarterback is Monica Rafecas Barcelo. And I believe she plays for the rookies, the team rookies, Barbara Rookies, the championship winning team this year. We saw a run to the left for about 5 yards. Actually, I'm sorry, it was only about a yard. 5 yards from where she received the ball. You're going to have to excuse me if I don't always say the names of the players, since I'm all by myself and this roster is a little bit hard to read, but I'm going to try my best. We see a toss play to the right. And Spain's number 2 player, Alison Francis Rodriguez Vives, who is actually a tight end, but lined up as a back this time. Ran it down the sideline, but it was mostly a lateral run, so no yards on display. It is 3rd down for Spain. And there seemed to be a problem with the handoff, and Finland's defense was right on it. Managed to push back the running back for a few yards, so it is 4th and about 10 and a little bit for Spain from their own 35. They're going to punt the ball away. And it's a high punt, but it was touched by the Finnish player, which means it's a live ball. It looks like number 30 managed to jump on the ball, though, so it is going to be Finland's ball at their own 35-yard line. So the player who fielded the ball was Rika Martin, who ended up falling on the ball. She is on the O-line. So it is 1st down, Finland. First down for their starting offense this year. The quarterback is Tina Salo, who was also playing in the last tournament. And there was a nice play-action fake. And there was a run to the right, which was stopped after about 20 yards. So it is a 1st down for Finland. Finland lined up with 4 receivers. There's the motion, and number 2 got the ball running down to the left, but she didn't really try to run vertically, so it was fewer yards than she could have gained on this play. But it was still 5 yards on the play. Jenny Linden, the wide receiver, who got the ball from a motion play. Once again, there are 4 receivers and 1 running back from the shotgun formation. It would have been the same play around to the other side, but the snap was a little bit high, so the quarterback, Tina Salo, kept the ball and managed to run for the first down. She even communicated to the receiver to try to go and block for her. So that was a very nice improvisation on behalf of Tina Salo. There are several players on the Finnish team who played in the previous tournament. And as we go along, I will try to introduce some of them. Now the motion goes behind the quarterback, and it's actually a run down the middle by number 3, Janina Virtanen, the running back, who ran for almost 10 yards. It's very close to the first down line. It is second and about a yard or 2. So Finland is advancing steadily. They are almost in the red zone. The same motion play, and the quarterback actually goes up to block for the runner. But the runner didn't wait for the block, so then she got tackled by the defense. It was still a very nice run for a first down inside the red zone. First and 10 at the 17-yard line for this Finnish team. Once again, the motion play, high snap, quarterback keeps the ball and runs down to the right. And at the sidelines, seems to have gotten in there. Yes, the referees are saying it was a touchdown. Beautifully run by the quarterback, Tina Salo. As you can see, that was quite a high snap again, but she just ran it in. Very smart play by the quarterback. So now for excuse me, I actually missed the referee's signal that it was not in fact in because the runner stepped out of bounds about 4 yards out. So it was first and goal from the 3, but now after a penalty by the offense, it is first and goal from about the 9-yard line. Motion play, handed off to the running back to the right. Nice stiff arm by the running back and jumped into the end zone. Nice dive by Janina Virtanen, the running back, who stayed down. There seems to be an injury. So injury timeout. The score is 8-0 Finland. Okay, so while we are waiting for the special teams to take the field, let me talk a little bit about this Finnish team. They have 12 or 13 players, as far as I know, who played in the 2010 tournament and won a bronze medal, including the quarterback, Tina Salo. Their selection process started in April, where they have 70 players in camp, and they narrowed that down to a 50-player roster by June, and then the national team training camp narrowed it down to the final roster of 45 players. Finland has been playing football since the 90s, but they started with flag football for women and switched to semi-contact flag in the 2000s, and they have been playing tackle football since 2008. In the meantime, we saw a kickoff by Finland and a return by Spain, once again to their 35, well, actually a little bit before their 35, so it's about their 33-yard line, where they gained the first down. So once again, Spain's starting offense is on the field. The quarterback is under center, handed off to the running back, number 7, Maria da Carmen Arroyo Moreno, who ran for about 2 yards to the left. Spain is a very, very young team. Most of the players have been playing for about 4 or 5 years. But I heard there's someone who's only 20 years old and yet has been playing for 10 years. So that's quite an experience for such a young lady. The quarterback tried to pass to number 21, Maria Azucena Munoz Martos, the wide receiver, but was hit during the throw, so it was an incomplete pass. It is 3rd down at the 35-yard line. 3rd and about 8 to go for Spain. Once again, 4 receivers, single back, who once again received the ball in a handoff, but was stopped at the line of scrimmage by the Finnish defense. Tackle by number 11, Sanna Järvinen. Spain is once again forced to punt the ball away. I believe the punter is wide receiver Munoz. We get a high punt this time down the middle, but it bounces back towards the 50-yard line. So Finland will get the ball near midfield for another offensive series. Some of the players on the Finnish team returning to watch especially on defense, Tea Tormanen, who is a linebacker, and she played in the United States for the DC Divas. And Sari Kuosmanen, who's a wide receiver, so you can see her on the field. While Kristina Hamo, the wide receiver, got the handoff once again from a motion play and ran for a first down at the 33-yard line. So back to number 80, Sari Kuosmanen, who set a lot of team records at the previous tournament. For example, yards receiving in a single game. She received the ball for and ran with the ball for 113 yards. She also scored 2 touchdowns in the game, which was tied for the highest number of touchdowns receptions per game. And she also had the longest touchdown reception of 81 yards. Kristi Nirhano, who got this first down just previously, is one of the new players added to the roster for this tournament, so she did not appear in the previous tournament. She's a very young player, and this shows that Finland has invested a lot in developing its women's football. At the previous tournament, there were less than or fewer than 100 players active, and now that has, since then, that has doubled. So women's football is getting very popular in this country. Once again, a little bit of confusion with the high snap and the handoff. But this time, Spain's defense was very vigilant and managed to tackle the quarterback for a loss. The referees ruled forward progress at about the line of scrimmage. Motion behind the quarterback, and this time the quarterback kept it for a run down the middle and then to the right, where she was tackled, gang tackled by the Spanish defense at about the 20-yard line, 18-yard line. Let's see this play again. Once again, the snap was really high, but the quarterback managed to keep the ball, and that was a beautiful block by number 3, Janina Virtanen, although it was a little bit suspicious, that block. So Finland is once again in the red zone. Same formation. Snap was good this time, and we see a passing play to number 80, Sari Kuosmanen, the wide receiver I was just talking about a minute ago, who set all the receiving records for her team in the 2010 tournament. So this was a beautiful reception for a touchdown. Let's see the point after, which once again it seems will be a 2-point conversion attempt. And it's a run down the middle into the end zone by Virtanen, the running back. Very efficient play by Finland, and even though there were some problems with the snaps, the shotgun snaps, they've been able to improvise and keep going forward. Very nice drive by Team Finland. And they can kick the ball off again from the 30-yard line. So Finland's number 32, Elina Seppälä, lined up for the kick. Line drive down the middle, picked up by Spain's returner, number 21, Ruth Ortiz-Marganto, who returned the ball to just past the 40-yard line. It is first down, Spain. So now the Finnish defense, full of veterans from the previous tournament, lines up to try to stop the Spaniards again from advancing the ball. Spain lined up in their usual four-receiver formation. The handoff this time was good, but the running back was stopped at the line of scrimmage, well, about a couple yards from the line of scrimmage. Running back Arroyo Moreno, who just gained 2 yards. And another nice play by Spain. It was this time to the receiver, number 2, the tight end, who lined up as receiver, Alison Francis Rodriguez. And managed to gain 3 more yards. So it is 3rd and about 6. The quarterback stumbled after the snap, probably over the foot of one of her O-linemen. Unfortunately, it is now 4th down for the offense. So the score currently is 16-0. Finland 16, Spain 0. And it is 4th and 8 for Spain. A punt down the middle. No Finnish player nearby. They learned from the previous mistake from the first punt when they touched the ball and it bounced away and they barely recovered it. So this time the Spanish punt team fields the ball at about the 30-yard line. Let's say about 28. So the Spanish defense is once again on the field to try to stop the Finnish offense. So far, this is the worst field position for Finland to start from in this game. But that hasn't stopped them so far from advancing the ball. Handoff to the running back to the right. She fumbles the ball at the 35-yard line. It's picked up by Spain's number 4, Andrea Lopez Rubio, who then returned it for a few more yards before being tackled. So now it is back to Spain. Spain's offense once again take the field. Very nice turnover forced by the Spanish defense and recovered by one of their own. Andrea Lopez Rubio is a linebacker, born in 1995, so a very young linebacker. Very nice job on being vigilant, recovering the ball. The quarterback was forced to throw the ball away because she was chased down by Tia Tormanen, as well as number 63 on the Finnish team. Laura Tenberg. I finally found her name. After a penalty, Spain is now back 10 yards, so it is 2nd and 20 for Spain. It was a quick pass to number 7, Maria del Carmen Arroyo Moreno, who then ran for a couple yards to the right. It was a toss play to the left and a beautiful run by number 7, Arroyo Moreno again. She had a wide open field up until about the 38-yard line where she was tackled. So it is 4th down for Spain. Since they are in their opponent's territory, it looks like they're going to be going for it, even though it's 4th and about 15. But there's no point punting the ball away from here. It is the end of the first quarter. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So at the end of the first quarter, our score is 16-0 Finland. And we will continue right away with the second quarter, in which Spain will have the ball for their 4th down attempt. If you are new to football, between the quarters, between the first and second quarter and the third and fourth quarter, the possession of the ball keeps going, so there's no restart for anything, whereas during halftime, everything that was in the previous quarter is basically canceled. So at the end of the first half, if you have the ball even at the 2-yard line, but time expires, then you won't be able to continue after the first half. But at the end of the first quarter, all that happens is a change of sides. So now you can see Spain lined up on the right, going towards the left. A quick screen pass to the right, but the Finnish defense, led by Tia Tormanen, was right there. And it is 1st down, Finland, going the other way. It looks like both teams like to stick with the 4-receiver formation. Right now, it looks like one of the Spanish defenders might have jumped offside, but it could have been a false start too. It looks like it was indeed a false start. Full starts are 5-yard, carry a 5-yard penalty. So now Finland's back to 1st and 15, but it was a pass to the right-hand side intended for Kuosmanen, number 80. And it was incomplete. So Finland's back in the huddle, and we saw a substitution. Number 12, Anna Tanskanen, came in. She's listed as a linebacker, so it's going to be interesting. Shotgun snap and a high pass to the right intended for Kuosmanen, but the Spanish defender was right on top of that. There is no flag. There's some complaining on the sidelines, but this seemed like a clear defensive play. So incomplete pass. It is 3rd and 15 for Finland. The pass was broken up by Spain's number 22, Romero Corones. And a shotgun snap kept by the quarterback, but fumbled and picked up by Spain. Let's see that replay. Quarterback runs up the middle, beautifully done by the Spanish defender, forcing the fumble, and it is picked up by another Spanish defender. I did not see the numbers, unfortunately. So it is now Spain's ball, 1st down at the 35-yard line. Very nice to see this young team force 2 turnovers in just a few minutes. It is a timeout. So as you can see, the coaches are busy talking to their players about what to do next. As I said, Spain is a very young team. They've only been playing for 4 or 5 years. Their league is actually 7-on-7, so their tackle football league is 7-on-7, and they only started practicing 11-on-11 for international games and for this tournament. They played 2 international games so far, against Sweden in 2011 and against the French team, the Sparkles, in 2012, and that was their first win. Now we're back to the action on the field. Number 21 carried the ball and was tackled for a loss. Number 21 was Muñoz Martos, the wide receiver, as you can see down in the middle of the field. Spain's lined up on the left side hash mark in their usual formation. And the quarterback kept the ball, tried to run it to the right, but Teo Tormanen was right there and made a beautiful tackle. Tormanen is one of the most experienced players on the Finnish team. As I said, she also played for the DC Divas in the United States, part of the IWFL, now the WFA Football League. So she was teammates with some of the players that we will see later on today in the second game, in which the United States team takes the field against Sweden. It is 3rd down, 3rd and about 15 for Spain. Now they actually lined up in an I formation, but there was a fumble, even though the fullback made a beautiful block, but the running back fumbled the ball. So Finland force the turnover this time. So it was a toss handoff, and it wasn't handled well by the running back. And 3 Finnish defenders were right there on the ball. Thea Tormainen among them. So Finland back with their offense on the field. Once again, a little bit high snap, but the quarterback managed to keep it. It was a beautiful play by the Spanish defense, but it was not a fumble because she was already down on the field. It looks like she might have been injured on the play, though. This is number 34, Karolina Paukala. I hope I have the right numbers. Oh, yes. Okay, so no, this was Jonna Hakkarainen, who is the second quarterback of the Finnish team. I have 2 different sets of numbers on my roster, so I managed to figure it out. It looks like she will have to come off the field. So Jonna Hakkarainen, let's see who will take her place at quarterback. So it seems like it is back to Tina Salo, the starting quarterback and veteran from 2010. Very high snap that went over Salo's head, but she managed to scramble for it and picked it up. But the Spanish defenders were right on top of the play and managed to tackle her for a huge loss. There's not much one can do in this position, although there could have been a block from number 1 right there. It was nicely recovered by the quarterback, though. So it is 3rd down for Finland, 3rd and very long. They were pushed back into their own territory. This time the snap was right. Quarterback kept it, runs down the middle, breaks 2 tackles, but then gets tackled by 2 Spanish defenders at about the original line of scrimmage. So we are near midfield once again, but it is 4th down. So it looks like Finland's sending their punt team on the field. Nice long punt down the middle. Spain's number 21 tried to field the ball, but lost it, so it was a live ball, and she had to fall on it to make sure Spain can keep the ball. Number 21 was Munoz Martos, so the wide receiver is also the punt returner for Spain. There is a flag on the field, so we'll see what referee McPhillamy will say. It seems like that was a penalty against Finland, and Spain is electing to have Finland re-kick the punt. So there will be another punt by Finland. Snap was fairly low, but the punt is as high as usual. This time, Munoz Martos didn't try to get close to the ball, so it was fielded by the Finnish punt team at around the same spot where the previous punt resulted in the would-be first down. So it is Spanish first down near their 20-yard line at about 19 yards, it seems. In the meantime, the stands are filling up. It is nice to have a lot of local audience here in Helsinki, Finland. Today we have quite nice weather, actually. It is about 25 Celsius, so after a rainy day yesterday, it's nice to see some sun. In the meantime, we saw a run to the right for a gain of a yard or so on a toss play. Very nice run, keeping the shoulders low, diving forward to make sure that she gains a few more yards. Back to the I formation in Spain, a fullback and a tailback. It is a handoff and a run down the middle for another couple of yards. The block attempt by the fullback was kind of not exactly efficient, so the same defender was able to get back to the tailback and make the tackle. A pass attempt by the quarterback to the right, but it was a little bit short for her intended target, number 21, Munoz Martos. So it is now fourth down Spain, and they will be forced to punt the ball away from their 25-yard line. Finland's returner is Sari Kuosmanen. She's also in charge of making sure that there are 11 players and no more on the field. The personal protectors of the punter did not do a good job trying to protect their punter, and there was a defender running through the line of these blockers, but there is a flag on the play, so we will see if we get roughing the kicker penalty or if it was something else. It seemed like the defender tried not to hit the punter, but may have made contact. Let's see if that's what actually happened. So number 42, she tried to hold her hand out for the ball, but it seems like she actually touched the foot of the punter. That would be a penalty of 15 yards, so that would get Spain a first down, and it seems like Spain's offense might be back on the field. Yes, indeed. There were two penalties in the field. One of them was declined, and it was the roughing the kicker penalty that was enforced. So that means Spain gets a first down at the 40-yard line. From the I formation, there was a handoff to the tailback. This time the fullback actually made a really nice block. It was the O-line that was kind of leaking through. So the tackle was for a loss, and now it is second down and about 13 yards to go. It is a pass attempt, but there was no receiver in sight. So it is an incomplete pass and third down. Let's see that replay. What happened to the receiver to the left? She stumbled, or maybe she was not running the correct route. It seems like she was actually breaking towards the middle and not down the sideline where the pass was going. It looks like the quarterback was sacked, but I did not see where the ball went, so let's see that replay. There was a snap and a fumbled handoff, which was recovered by the Finnish defense. So it is a turnover for Finland. Finland has a first down in their opponent's territory at the 35-yard line. Once again, we see that motion across play behind the quarterback, and it was handed off to number 32, who's running down the sidelines and into the end zone for a touchdown. Number 32, Elina Seppälä, who is actually a D lineman. Nice break for the outside. A very fast run down the sideline. Spanish defender tried to get her down, but only got her jersey, so it didn't stop her from running into the end zone. Nice job by the defensive lineman turned running back. And so it is 22-0. And let's see the second, the two-point conversion, which was batted away by Spain's number 4, Quintana Mota, who's one of the players I was told to watch. Ada Quintana Mota, who is a linebacker, one of the oldest members of the team, with a lot of veteran experience in defense. So the two-point conversion was not successful, which means the score is Finland 22 and Spain 0. We are more than halfway through the second quarter. We have about 5.5 minutes left of this half. Finland getting ready for another kickoff, and the kicker is the same player who scored the touchdown. It is Elina Seppälä. She plays for the Demons in the Finnish league. The kickoff is down the middle, bouncing away. Spain's number 2, Rodriguez Vivas, falls on the ball. They seem to not exactly be sure what to do with it, or whether it's a live ball. As opposed to a punt, this is always a live ball. Kickoffs are live. So falling on it was probably the best thing she could have done in this situation. It is now Spain's ball on their 21-yard line. 1st and 10. Spain is now in a shotgun formation with a single back to the left of the quarterback. Nice block by the running back, and the pass went to number 2, Rodriguez Vivas. She did not have much room to run though, so she was stopped after about a yard. gained by Thea Tormanen. It was a run to the left, but for a loss. I was about to say, it was really interesting that one of the quarterbacks was actually lined up at receiver. So there was a quick handoff to the running back, as you can see, but she had nowhere to run because number 54, Sofia von Hartmann, was right on top of it from the defensive line on the Finnish team. So number 2 on the Spanish team, you can see her lined up as a slot receiver, is actually the second quarterback of the Spanish team, Alison Francis Rodriguez Vivas. This was a pass intended for the right side slot receiver, number 28. Izquierdo Crespo, but it was incomplete. And so it is 4th down and a Spanish punt. It was a very, very short punt, but it's bouncing the right way for Spain. And it seems to have stopped at the 42-yard line where Spain fielded it for Finland. So it is 1st down, Finland, with about almost 4 minutes to go from this first half of the first game today. There's also another interesting fact about the Spanish team, that they have 2 players who have actually never played tackle football before. This game, if they can take the field, would be their first ever tackle football game. Now Finland's back on offense, and it was a quick handoff from motion to number 1, Kirstini Arhano, who managed to make the most of it and ran for the 1st down, just down the middle. Very nice run by Nirhanen. And a good Spanish tackle in the end. The quarterback, as you can see, made a very nice fake after handing off the ball, and the Spanish defender bit on it and tried to tackle her. Shotgun snap. Quarterback rolled out and tried to pass to Guasmanen, but the Spanish defender was in the way. So it's an incomplete pass. It is 2nd down for Finland, 2nd and 10, right about midfield, with 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go. The quarterback rolled out to the left this time and tried to pass down the left sideline, but it was overthrown for the intended target, Jenny Linden. It is incomplete. 3rd and 10 from the same spot. Another pass attempt, this time to the right to Sari Kuosmanen, and this was caught by Kuosmanen beautifully in stride. And she ran it into the end zone. There was a tackle attempt by number 22 of Spain, by Maria Buenache Diaz, but she just barely touched Kuosmanen as she gained speed. It is another touchdown for the home team, Finland. So it is 28 points on the board for the hosting team of this tournament with 3 minutes to go. 2-point conversion attempt for the extra point. It is another pass attempt. It is very high and was thrown out of the end zone, so this attempt was unsuccessful, which means the score remains 28-0. It was a very nice reception and touchdown by the veteran receiver, Kuosmanen, who is on her way to setting records for her team, just like she did in the previous tournament. And now Spain is lining up to receive another kickoff. It's gotten quite windy, and it seemed like the wind was kind of blowing the ball back a little bit, so it wasn't a very long kickoff, but it was fielded by the Spanish returner, who then decided not to make a run for it. Number 2, Rodriguez Vivas, who is very versatile. She is a quarterback and a receiver, and it seems a kick returner as well. So now it is Spain's first down at the 30-yard line, with just a bit less than 3 minutes to go from the second quarter. I formation for Spain with just the 2 receivers. It seems like there was a full start by the right tackle on this play, and it was whistled dead by the referees. It is indeed a full start, 5-yard penalty for Spain. So it will be 1st and 15 for the rookie team. Seems like they kept the I formation for this play as well. And at quarterback, you see Rodriguez Vivas, Ellison Francis Rodriguez Vivas, but there was a fumble on the snap. And it was the fullback who recovered the ball for Spain, so it is 3rd and about 17 to go. There's a consult by the referees. Just to make sure everyone's on the same page. And this international crew of referees, as I said, there are 3 Americans, a Serbian, a Polish, an Italian, and an Austrian referee on this, or official in this game. Very nice run down the middle. And a quarterback keep, it seems. by Rodriguez Vivas, second quarterback of the Spanish team. It might have been an improvised play because it seems like she managed to break a tackle before even handing off the ball, so she kept it and she ran down the middle for about 7 yards. So now Spain is back to the original line of scrimmage for the third down. So it is 3rd and 10, and there is a timeout. There is less than 2 minutes left, so it is actually the 2-minute warning, it seems. As you can see, the score is 28-0 just before halftime. 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining. And it is 3rd and 10 for Spain at their own 30-yard line. Spain selected their 45-player roster through 3 different training camps from an initial draft of about 65 players. The 3 training camps took place in Zaragoza, Madrid, and Barcelona. And head coach Roberto Torresillas is also the head coach of one of the strongest teams in the Spanish league, the Barbara Rookies, who sent several players to the national team. As I said, they do play 7-on-7, so playing the full game 11-on-11 football is a very different method that they are used to. The quarterback kept the ball, ran to the right, but it was mostly lateral and was tackled by Teator Manen, number 47 of the Finnish team. There was a suspicious move by the fullback after 43 passed her, but it was not called for holding. And it is 4th down anyway for the Spanish team. A very nice attempt so far by the Spanish team, especially their defense, forcing 2 turnovers. Tormanen was trying to get through and almost got to the punter, but she managed to punt the ball away, and it was fielded by the special team, number 82 on the Spanish team at the 38-yard line. Number 82 is Maria Lopez Luengo, who's the linebacker, so she actually will remain on the field for the next drive as Spain sends their defense back out on the field. And Finland is getting ready to try to use the 1 minute and 5 seconds left of this half to advance the ball and perhaps put more points on the board before halftime. Spain lines up really closely, almost like a goal line defense, and number 55 on the Spanish team got through and was in the way, so the pass attempt was incomplete. Number 55 is Raquel Diaz Garcia from the defensive line. She is also one of the veteran players, one of the most experienced players on the team. Playing for the Terrassa Reds in Spain. So a pass attempt by a Finnish quarterback to the left, intended for number 92, Henrika Pitkänen, the wide receiver, but it was incomplete. If this was supposed to be a long play down the sideline, the receiver kind of turned back too early. She made a little stutter step that actually made it impossible to get to where the ball was. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be this way or if it was overthrown. So there's a handoff to the fullback, who is the defensive lineman, but it was a beautiful tackle by number 69, the tallest player on the Spanish team. Georgina Akinbi-Carbones, who is on the defensive line. She is 186 centimeters tall. So it is the first punt by the Finnish team. But there is a flag on the play. It seems to be too many players on the field. Illegal substitution for Spain. Carries a 5-yard penalty. It is still 4th down. This does not change possession or the downs because it is still about 4 or 5 yards to go for Finland for the first down. So that means it is 4th and about 4 yards to go. It seems to carry a runoff, a clock runoff. 2 5 seconds. So now this seems to be the last play of this half. The punt by the Finnish team, but they allowed the clock to expire. So it is half time in this very first game of the 2nd Women's World Championship tournament in tackle football. At halftime, the score is Finland 28, Spain 0. But the Spanish defense has done some pretty promising things. 2 turnovers forced, some beautiful tackles made by the defense. So this is very promising for the second half. And Finland has played very consistently, and especially on offense, very consistently going forward, and on defense, very consistently stopping the Spanish offense. So this is the halftime score. We will be back after our intermission for the second half.
Lastensuosia, eli jos synnytiin, tarvitaan lisää henkilökuntaa.
championships in women's tackle football. The score is 28-0. Finland's up. And we saw a kickoff by Spain, picked up by the Finnish returner, number 35, running it down the sideline all the way back to the 35-yard line. Number 35 is Jutta Luhtala, a wide receiver for the Finnish team, one of the young wide receivers. She did not play in the tournament in 2010, so she's a new addition to this very efficient Finnish team. So now we will once again see Spain's defense against the Finnish offense on the field. Finland in their usual shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers and a motion play. Handed off to the fullback, number 32. Runs it down the middle. Not be tackled until she is gang tackled at the 20-yard line. Beautiful run down the middle by number 32, Elina Seppele, the converted defensive lineman who is now a running back on some of the plays. Beautiful run. I think she was trying to take a page out of the book of Jessica Springer, one famous running back for the 2010 U.S. national team, who holds the record for most touchdowns in the tournament with number 6. This was a little bit shaky handoff to number 1, but she managed to keep the ball and run it to the left for about 6 yards on the play. So this is 2nd down and about 4 to go for Finland by Kirsti Nierhammer, the running back. Same single back formation, same motion play, this time behind the quarterback, and it is a quarterback keep. There's a flag on the play in the meantime, but let's see what the quarterback does with the ball. A missed tackle, and then she is stopped at about the 1st down marker, so we will see what the end result will be. So she runs it to the sideline. 2 missed tackles, in fact. 3 missed tackles, and it is the 4th one that actually is the one that stops her. But after a penalty, we are back 5 yards. So it is 2nd and 15 for the Finnish national team. At quarterback, it is still Tina Salo. As you remember, the 2nd quarterback was injured in the 2nd quarter, or maybe it was towards the end of the 1st quarter. It is a passing play to the right intended for number 82, Rina Kukso, wide receiver, but it was just a little bit short for her to catch. Might have been slowed down by the defender next to her. But seems like it was thrown a little bit wide for the receiver. There seems to be a timeout called by the Spanish team. In this situation, 3rd and 15, it is important for the coaches to talk to their defenders. This is a crucial play on this drive because if Finland manages to gain a 1st down, they will be about 10 yards from the end zone. But if Spain manages to hold them off, then they can get a fairly good field position or maybe force a field goal try, although we have not seen the Finnish team try to kick any field goals or extra points. In fact, they always went for the 2-point conversion on the extra point. So they will probably go for it on 4th down as well in this close to the end zone. We have about 2 minutes gone from this third quarter. So that means we still have about 10 to go until the quick intermission before the last quarter. Finland only alternates the side that the running back lines up on, so it is the same formation and a quick wide receiver screen out to the right to Kirsti Nierhamo, running back who actually lined up at wide receiver. There is quite a commotion after the play, and there seems to be an injury, but the players are both standing up, so nothing serious, thankfully. Nierhano stays down, though, so she has to get checked out and leave the field. There was quite a collision by 3 defenders on Nierhano. We lost the ball, but only after she hit the ground. So this is still finish ball. 4th and 15. Nierhano is helped off the field. She's limping. We hope that she can return soon to the game. And Salo is back with the play in the huddle. So we will see what the coaches came up with for 4th down for Finland's offense. Seppälä back on the field, lined up at running back next to the quarterback, who keeps the ball, rolls out to the left, and passes to number 89, but it is incomplete. It was just a bit too far for her to catch. Number 89 is Natalia Blomster. She was not a target yet in this quarter for passing plays and did not make the catch this time. So it is 1st down for Spain. Spain's offense is now back in the field. If you missed the first half, now you can see what this young team is capable of on offense in their very first game at this tournament. Not their first international game, because they have played 2 international games before, but their very first tournament game at the World Championships. You can see a handoff to the motioning player, but there was not a lot of drive on her run, so she was mostly running vertically, as you could see, so couldn't push forward. She tried to cut back, but ran into her own blocker, and then the Finnish defense made a gang tackle for a loss. It is 2nd down and about 13 to go for Spain's offense. The Spanish quarterback is still number 10, Monica Rafecas Barcelo, who is one of the youngest players in the team. She is only 20 years old. She's turning 21 this year. And she completed a pass to number 21, Maria Azucena Munoz Martos, in the middle of the field. Beautiful catch by Munoz Martos in a lot of traffic. That was a nice shotgun snap. Very well thrown, and nice catch by Munoz Martos. Great job holding on to the ball. So this is a 1st down for Spain. Historic 1st down at the 35-yard line. I believe this is maybe their first down in this tournament and in this game. Pass intended for number 28, Alba Izquierdo Crespo, who plays several positions, running back, tight end, and wide receiver. This pass was incomplete, so it is 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for Spain. For receivers, shotgun, snap, and single back. So this was a screen attempt. I was going to say, as the running back started running towards the sideline and looking back, this was screaming screen. but it was incomplete. It was actually thrown forward, so there was no fumble in this. It is third down for Spain with 10 yards to go from their 36. Handoff right down the middle to the fullback, who manages to dive for a couple extra yards, but it is still only about 2 yards on this play. It is 4th and 8 for the Spanish team, so they will punt the ball away. Finland was right there on the play with 4 down linemen on defense. It is very hard to run down the middle against such a packed defense, especially if the handoff takes so long as it did this time. The referees are whistling the play dead, so there seems to be an issue there. It was a false start. It was a false start by the punt team, by Spain. It is still 4th down, but with another 5 yards back for them to go. This time the personal protectors managed to actually protect their punter. It was a high kick, but then it managed to bounce all the way back to about the 38-yard line for the Finland team. It's a nice work by the Spanish punt team so far, except for maybe the blocking in the previous punt. The gunners and the people who try to field the punt after the actual punt have been doing a great job being where the ball is, making sure that there is no return. So now it is Finland's first down on their own 38-yard line with the same shotgun formation, with Seppälä receiving the handoff. But this time the Spanish defensive line stopped her right at the line of scrimmage. Number 4 and number 7 on the Spanish team, Ada Quintana Mota, the linebacker we've talked about before, and Maria del Carmen Arroyo Moreno, who is also a running back. Obviously, on teams that don't have a full roster of players or have a lot of inexperienced players, there will be several players lined up in various positions. It was a quick screen attempt to the left by the quarterback Salo, but somehow number 85 was not able to field it. Mina Saros, wide receiver, it fell right at her feet. Unfortunately, there's an injury. There was an injury in this play. One of the Spanish defensive backs is on the field, so we're going to have an injury timeout. We really hope that this injury is not serious, but she seems to be hurting a lot. This Spanish team, as I said, is a very small and very young team, so they don't have a lot of options to make substitutions. And they do have a lot of players that are inexperienced. As I said, there are 2 players who've never played in a tackle football game before. They've only played flag football. But this is a tournament where they can all gain experience and build their program for the future. And since this is a very young team, there are many, many years ahead for almost all of them to play. And perhaps at the next tournament, they will be able to have a full roster. The player is now being helped off the field. Number 13 on the Spanish team, Silvia Pozo Fernandez, as I said, one of the defensive backs. And the problem seems to be with her right knee or ankle. One of the lessons for all teams from the previous tournament was that it is very hard to play 3 games in the course of a week. And there were a lot of injuries on the teams, but most of them were not serious injuries. Most of them were ones that one can recover from fairly quickly, except at a tournament like this, when you have to play in a few days, that means that there's not enough recovery time. So if a team has enough players, enough strong and prepared players, then they can make sure that even in the case of injuries, they can continue playing at the same level. And that's one of the things that separated the gold medal winning US team from the other teams, that they did not have any serious injuries or any injuries really, because they had a full roster of players around the same level. After an incomplete pass attempt by Finland, we saw a punt on 4th down, and the punt was down at about the 29 or 30-yard line. Yes, the referees put the ball on the 30-yard line, so this is where Spain will manage to start their next offensive series. Good defensive attempt again by Spain. As we saw earlier, their defense has been stepping up to the challenge. Now let's see if they can move ahead on offense as well. The intended target, the receiver, tried to catch the ball, but it bounced right back from her shoulder pass. This was number 2, Alison Francis Rodriguez Vivas, the second quarterback, who also plays receiver on the team. So it is 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for Spain. Back to the I formation again with a fullback and a tailback. Tight end lined up on the right-hand side. This was a run attempt down very quickly, and I believe there was a fumble on this play recovered by Finland. Yes, it is Finland's ball. But let's see what actually happened to that ball on the replay, if we can see that. So it was a fumbled snap. A very nice attempt by number 7 to block the defensive lineman on the Finnish team, but there were other Finnish defenders ready to jump on the ball. Beautiful fumble recovery by Finland. So this is now, I believe, the 2nd turnover that Finland has forced. So the turnover ratio is now the same for both teams. Shotgun formation and a pass to number 80, Sari Kuosmanen. She was tackled after about 3 or 4 yards. Very nice work by the quarterback Salo for throwing the ball under pressure, but just as precisely to the hands of her receiver. Second and about 6 yards to go. The pass was incomplete. It was intended for number 35, I believe, but there was no one near the ball. This is the second time Jutta Luhtala is somewhere other than where the ball lands, so it is a bit of miscommunication or a botched route or an overthrown ball. It seems to me, though, that the receiver was not where she was supposed to be because of the defenders throwing her off her route. This was a very nice pass down the middle to number 2, Jenny Linden, running back, who now scored a passing touchdown, or receiving touchdown from her perspective, actually. So yet another touchdown for the Finnish team this afternoon with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go of this third quarter. It is now Finland 34, Spain 0. And something we have not seen before is Finland lining up for an extra point that is actually kicked. Let's see how the kick goes, and it is good. Number 12, our quarterback, Tina Salo, a versatile player who is also the kicker on this extra point attempt. So it is another point added to the scoreboard. It is 35 points for Finland in this game. Finland will kick off, obviously, from their 30-yard line, as it is customary. And Spain will receive the ball before sending their offense back out on the field with their very young quarterback, Monica Rafecas Barcelo. Lined up to return on the Spanish team once again are number 2, Alison Francis Rodriguez Villas, the second quarterback and receiver, and number 21, Maria Azucena Munoz Martos. The kick is on the right-hand side from the kicking team's perspective. Munoz Martos tried to return the ball, tried to run around the blockers, but was tackled at about the 25-yard line. Very nice job by the kickoff team, the Finnish kickoff team, in getting to the returner and making the tackle. Spain's back on offense. This time Finland is lined up. Okay, I thought they were going to line up with only 3 defensive linemen, but they did not. In the last moment, the 4th one actually, an outside linebacker lined up in a 3-point stance right next to them. So they went back to their usual defensive formation. In the last minute, I think there might have been a little bit of confusion on the defense as to which side to line up on. Nevertheless, they stopped the play with no gain, so it is 2nd and 10 for Spain. Also back to their I formation with the quarterback under center. After a fake handoff, she rolled out and passed to the right to number 2, Rodriguez Vivas, who was tackled after another few yards, and so it is now 3rd and 5. So it was indeed a 5-yard run by Rodriguez Vivas after the catch. This play was stopped for a loss, which means back to the original line of scrimmage, or almost the original line of scrimmage on 4th down. Very nice work by the Finnish defensive line, pushing the O-line back and leaving no room for the runner. So it is Munoz Martos to punt the ball after making sure they have only 11 players. She's ready for the kick. It is high. But Finland once again made the mistake of trying to field the ball and not actually securing it. Number 35, Jutta Luhtala, touched it and then let it go. And then it was recovered by, I believe, number 24 of Spain, Esmeralda Gamez Narvaez. Very nice work. Again, by the Spanish punt team. Although this time they also needed the mistake by the Finnish returner. But smart play. So it is first down Spain near midfield. And in the I formation, a toss play, toss out to the right to Rodriguez Vivas, who is really fast and running laterally. And then when she turns up downfield, she manages to get about 6 yards on this play. Let's see that toss play. See if the block is right there. The fullback's block is not exactly efficient, but the defender misses the tackle, so Rodriguez Vivas managed to get about 5 more yards out of that play after that missed tackle. It would have been a similar play, it seems, but the Finnish defensive line once again just pushed through with a bull rush and buried the quarterback. Beautiful push through. The O-line couldn't hold. And it is a sack. So I believe it would have been the same play, ran out to the right. It is third and about 8 yards to go. High formation, under center. Quarterback almost ran into her running back. I believe there was some miscommunication there, and there was no way out for her. 3 Finnish defenders, 55, 31, and 22. We're right there on the play. Chasing her down. It was 22 who actually made the tackle, Kaisa Karlsson, the linebacker. So it is fourth down. And after a 5-yard loss, it's 4th and 15. So it is another punt for the Spanish team, but we saw that the Spanish punt team is quite strong in reacting to things. It seemed to almost brush by the Finnish player, but this time there is no turnover. It is Finland's ball. After a fairly short punt, it was only about 15 yards because it was very high and did not bounce anywhere. So it is Finland's ball at the 41-yard line. I'm sorry, it was my bad. It was actually Spain's ball because it did touch the Finnish player, so it ended up being Spain's ball at the 41-yard line. I blanked out for a moment right there and was wondering why Spain was on offense again. So I was right the first time. Sorry about that. Now we actually saw a run to the right and a 2-yard gain by the Spanish team on this run. She was run out of bounds by the Finnish defenders after about 2 yards. This is almost the end of the third quarter. There are a few seconds left, so the clock will run out. And it did. There's also a flag, so it seems like there's also a delay of game penalty, but we will find out. Yes, it is a delay of game penalty as the play clock ran out, but the game clock on this quarter also ran out at the same time. So referee Annalie McPhillamy called all the officials for a quick consult. There are actually 5 nationalities in this game on the official crew. And there are altogether 14 officials from 8 different countries at this tournament. And in the later game, we will see at least 2 more nationalities represented in the officiating crew. So now it is the end of the third quarter officially. And we will move on to the fourth quarter. Another 12 minutes to go from this game, the opening game of this tournament. So a quick switching of sides. And then we're off to the next play right after the referees put the ball down at the right spot. At the end of the third quarter, as you can see, or as you could see a second ago, Finland is up by 35 points against 0 points by Spain. And this is the beginning of the fourth quarter with Spain in possession of the football. Second down and 14 to go. It's a reverse play that we have not seen yet from the Spanish team. Very nice run by number 21, Muñoz Martos. To the left-hand side, she gained about 3 or 4 yards on this play. It was a very nice reverse play, but Muñoz Martos starts running even backwards a little bit before turning downfield. Tries to cut back, but can't, and then decides to head forward and gain a few more yards. Most often, if there's nowhere to really cut back, the best thing to do is really just to push and lower your shoulders and dive forward on a play like that, because then the runner can gain a few more yards on the play instead of being tackled for a loss. There is a penalty on the Spanish team. 5-yard penalty, so it is still third down. But there's 15 yards to go. Quarterback keep, but it was tackled. I mean, she was tackled, I'm sorry, for a loss by number 63 on the Finnish team, Laura Tenberg, defensive line. Spain is about to punt the ball from the 46-yard line. Let's see if they can manage to pin back the Finnish team, to pin them down at their own 20 or 10-yard line. But judging from the previous punts, this will be another one of those high but not too long punts. But it is bouncing the way that the Spanish team wants it to bounce and fielded at about the 30-yard line. It is Finland's ball. So it's 1st and 10 Finland. Ball is placed just past the 30-yard line. With 10 minutes and 15 seconds left from this game. And then, of course, there's another game tonight at 8 p.m. Finnish time. After a handoff, the running back tries to scramble up the middle. Number 62, Anna Rajavuori, is actually on the O-line. She was blocking very nicely. There is an injury on the play, so one of the linemen, I believe, has to be helped off the field. Yes, number 67, Rika Martin. She is on the offensive line. Shotgun formation with the running back on the left-hand side. I think that's, once again, Seppala, the defensive lineman. There is the handoff to the motioning slot receiver, who is then stopped after about 3 yards down the middle. That was a nice block by number 62, but the Spanish defender managed to still keep a hand out on her left and get in on the gang tackle with 2 more defenders. Nice work by the Spanish defense in this play. Same play to the other side, this time to number 35, who manages to gain first down and more. About 12 more yards after the first down. So this was Jutta Luhtala. She definitely managed to turn her previous mistake on the punt return to something really positive and maybe use a little bit of the anger to get through the defense. Shotgun snap, handoff to Seppala, right down the middle. Oh, it was a fake handoff, of course. Even I actually bit on it, just like the defense did, and it was kept by the quarterback, Tina Salo, who managed to run down the left-hand side. Very nicely delivered. Very nice play. 2 people actually tackled Seppala, thinking she had the ball, and as I said, I also thought, watching it live, that she did have the ball, but it was Tina. I'm sorry, I just blanked out on our quarterback's name. It was Tina Salo, who kept the ball for a long run, and now it is first down at the 28-yard line for Finland. Nice play. This time it was handed off to Seppala down the middle. The strong defensive lineman who has been lining up at running back on power plays for the Finnish offense. Beautifully executed once again, running right down the middle and gaining about 6 or 7 yards on this play. So it's second down for Finland and only about 4 yards to go for the next first down that is in the red zone. So if they gain a couple more yards, they will be inside Spain's red zone with 7.5 minutes to go. They keep the same formation, but why change it if it works, right? It was a screen attempt to number 92, Henriikka Pitkanen, the wide receiver, but it was incomplete. It is third down from the same spot. It is a pass to the right, intended for Pitkanen. Oh, it was just a little bit too long, or maybe she did not reach out. Let's see if we can see why this was not caught. Yes, it was way overthrown. Although, perhaps if she had seen the ball coming or expected it, it could have actually landed in her arms. From this vantage point, it was quite hard to see how far it was actually overthrown by. Same pass attempt, and this time it is caught by number 94, I believe, 84, I'm sorry. Number 84, Jana Yamina Seiles. So she is in for a touchdown for Finland. That was a very nicely executed pass play. As you can see, she was lined up at wide, and she caught the ball because it was right in her hands, so it was beautifully thrown. 6 more points for Finland. And we'll see another extra point kick attempt from their kicking team. The snap was kind of handled really slowly by the holder, and so it was not in the right position for the kicker to kick, and it was really low, so the kick was no good. It means no extra point for Finland, but the 6 points for this touchdown stand. It is Finland 41, Spain 0, with 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the opening game of the 2013 Women's World Championships in tackle football. The local crowd is obviously very happy, singing and dancing to the music. We also have quite a few people present from the other teams in the tournament. Later on, we will see the defending champions, the United States, take the field against the host of the previous tournament, Sweden. And then in 2 days, we will see the other 2 teams, Germany and Canada as well. But today they are off, so they can relax and watch their opponents play. There are 3 teams in each group. And in the preliminary rounds, they each play 2 games. They play both of the other teams, and then based on the results of these games, on Saturday, July 6th, which is next Saturday, there will be 3 games played, 1 for 5th place, 1 for the bronze medal, and 1 for the gold medal, the final game. And that will, the placements will be based on the results from these preliminary games. So the 2 group winners will play in the final. The 2 second place teams from the groups will play in the bronze medal game, and obviously the last place teams in each group will play for the 5th place. So it is Spain's ball after a short kickoff return, and now we saw the Spanish team advance the ball to the right-hand side on the run by number 7. Number 7, Maria del Carmen Arroyo. There are 2 yards on display that Spain gained, so we have a 2nd and 8 on our hands right now. Santa Raquel Arnajaria is ready to snap the ball to quarterback Rodriguez Vivas, so that we can actually see the second quarterback gain some experience at quarterback. She has been lining up at receiver. Now she kept the ball and is running to the left-hand side, but number 50 on the Finnish team, Laura Peltonen, chased her down and made the tackle for a 3-yard loss on the play. So we are now at 3rd and 11. Very nicely done by the Finnish defender. After a nice play by the quarterback. There was a quick snap. I don't know if the quarterback was ready. The running backs were certainly not ready as they didn't start running, and that led to a lot of confusion running into each other, and it was actually the running backs who accidentally forced the fumble. The quarterback had to clear her running back out of the way. She tried to pass, but a running back was in the way. Then it was actually a Finnish defender, not her own running back, who pushed the ball out of her hands. So that was a nice play by the Finnish defense, forcing a turnover inside the red zone. So it is now Finland's ball inside the 10. There was a false start or an illegal motion. We will see. No, it is a timeout that was called. We have 5.5 more minutes in this game. The score is 41-0, Finland. The bronze medalists from the previous tournament dominating this first game against the rookies of the tournament. Finland's offense is ready to come back and execute their next step in this drive after a turnover on a fumble. Seppälä once again lined up at running back, so there might be a handoff to her, and there is a handoff to her, but 2 Spanish defenders were right on top of this play. Number 69, Georgina Kimbi Carbones, was one of the 2 people making the tackle. She is the tallest player in the team and is a veteran defensive lineman. Seppälä on the left at running back, but now she's just a step ahead of her quarterback, so that means it's going to be, yes, it is the motion play. And it was also sniffed out by the defense by number 55 on the Spanish defense, Maria Buenache Diaz. Oh, I'm sorry, that was number 54. So number 55 is Raquel Diaz Garcia. She was the one who made this tackle. So it is 3rd and goal, but from the 15-yard line. So this was actually a tackle for a loss. Shotgun snap, very nice block by Seppälä, and a pass attempt to number 84, Seles, Janna Yamina Seles, who actually scored the previous touchdown. But this was incomplete. It was a little bit overthrown. But she also tried to just reach out instead of keeping her feet moving, so she might have been able to reach it with a couple more quick steps. It is 4th down, but since we're inside the red zone, the Finnish team is obviously going for it. It was a delayed handoff to number 2, Jenny Linden. And she is very close to the end zone. Let's see what the referee says or what the officials are pointing to. They saying that it was not in. Yes, it seems like she hit the ground. Seems like she hit the ground before getting into the end zone. So it was 4th down, and as she did not make it into the end zone, it is now Spain's ball, but from a very tough spot on the field. And yet they managed to make the most out of it on the first play. On a run down the middle, gain about a yard. Unfortunately, the player's down. I believe it's number 7, Arroyo Moreno, running back for the Spanish team after her tough run. The tackle was made by number 50 and number 22 on the Finnish team, Kaisa Karlsson and Laura Peltonen. Seems like there's not much of a trouble. It was just a quick little hit. So Arroyo Moreno is walking off the field on her own. Just a slight limp. So it is 2nd down for Spain. Pinned down at their 4-yard line, 3-yard line on this offensive series. We have 3.5 minutes left. Sometimes if you see the time left on the field, it's not moving. So sometimes it is not the same as the clock in the stadium. The clock in the stadium has 3 minutes and 22 seconds on it right now. But the score is definitely right. It is Finland 41, Spain nothing. And the ball is on the 2-yard line. Third and 11 from the 2-yard line for Spain. With 3 minutes to go. And now the clocks are actually aligned, so the time you see on the screen is the time on the stadium clock. So 2.5 more minutes for Spain and Finland to duke it out in this first game of the tournament. Timeout called by Spain. There's also a flag. I believe the timeout was called first. It is timeout Spain with 2.5 minutes, under 2.5 minutes to go. Ball on the 2-yard line, or not even, and about 11 or 12 yards to gain for the first down. Spanish team still consulting. Now going back to the field for maybe the last defensive series for Spain in the game, depending on how this will go. Lined up in the shotgun formation to give the quarterback a bit more room. Oh, they're actually punting the ball away. It was an interesting punt formation that actually looked like a shotgun formation, or maybe they just figured it would be easier to kick the ball away on third down and turn it over to the other team rather than risk losing it. So this was an interesting choice by the Spanish team. So we have almost a little bit more than 2 minutes, so we're almost at the 2-minute warning in this first game. The score 41-0. It's Finland's ball, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line inside the red zone after this very short and weird third down punt by the Spanish team. It is a pass to the left to number 2, Jenny Linden, who runs it into the end zone. Finland scores another touchdown. Another passing touchdown by Jenny Linden. Another receiving touchdown. Once again, I keep saying it from the quarterback's perspective. So the passing statistics will obviously go to the quarterback, Tina Salo, and the receiving stats will be Jenny Linden's own. Now for the extra point, this is a very low kick just over the heads of the lineman. Kick is no good, so we have 6 more points on the board for Finland. That is 47 points to 0 on Spain's side. 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go. And another kickoff. Perhaps Spain elected to punt on third down to maybe get the ball back one more time at a better field position. Since the score is already so high for Finland, they want to make sure Spain wants to make sure they have a bit more time to try some things out on offense in their very first tournament game. So Sakala ready for the kickoff. This is a very high one. It's not as long as she has usually kicked it. And it is returned about 10 yards by number 7, Arroyo Montero, on the Spanish team. So Spain has the ball at their own 42-yard line for a first down with just under 2 minutes to go. So this is practically our 2-minute warning. Let's see what Spain can do in these 2 minutes remaining. It is an ISO run, lead block by the fullback, but there was no room to go for the tailback. The gap closed very quickly. Fullback still got through, but the tailback was tackled at the line of scrimmage by 2 of the Finnish defenders. One of them was Anne Brasilahti, I believe. on the previous play, it was really a matter of speed and good blocking. This time they run the same play to the right-hand side. It's an inside lead block run. But once again, the running back number 28, Alba Izquierdo Crespo, was tackled for no gain. Even though there was a nice block by the fullback, but Tea Tormanen wasn't fooled. She was right there on the play. She managed to keep her right hand free and jump right in front of the route that the running back was taking behind her lead blocker. So beautifully executed from the veteran linebacker on the Finnish team. At quarterback, after the previous series, we see Monica Rafecas Barcelo back on the play. I was distracted by the Finnish defense's absolutely amazing ability to tackle for a loss in this play. And the clock has run off to 0. It is the end of the game. Spain did not gain any more yards on this drive. So at the end of the game, it is Finland 47, Spain 0. But let's give a round of applause at home, if you're watching, to this very young rookie Spanish team at our tournament, because this was a great effort for their first time playing. And they seem really happy when they take the field for the ceremony in which the MVPs of the game will be named.
And now to the showpiece of this game, presented by Tommy Viking. Mahali from IFAF puheenjohtaja, president of IFAF, Tommy Viking. And first of all, the best player of Team Spain, number 55, Rafael Garcia.
On the Spanish team, number 55, Raquel Diaz Garcia, received the Defensive MVP award. And on the Finnish side, the MVP, or the offensive MVP of the game, is number 12, the quarterback, Tina Salo. The awards were presented by IFAF President Tommy Viking. The teams will now shake hands, and then we're going to get ready for the second game of the day. So I will say goodbye for a little bit, and then we will return for the second game of the day. So tonight at 8 p.m. Finnish time, it will be United States against Sweden. So please come back for that game. Thank you for listening and watching our webcast today. You can watch every game live at this website, and you can also find statistics and all kinds of game information at the website of the tournament. So thank you for watching the first game of the 2013 Women's World Championship. I leave you with images of the two teams, Finland and Spain, celebrating the aftermath of their first games. And I will see you in a couple of hours. Have a good afternoon.